In the chaotic dance of life, we often find ourselves tangled up in the webs spun by our own minds. It's kind of wild when you think about it. We get so wrapped up in these mental threads that we completely lose sight of what's real. Life itself is woven together with emotions, sure, but it's not the emotions themselves that trip us up. Nope, it's the way we cling to them, the suffering we create by holding on so tight. Our minds, tricky little things, can lead us off course with their endless stories. They love to throw us into mental whirlpools, each more complicated than the last. But here's the kicker. We don't have to get caught up in these mental battles, fighting to understand every twist and turn in the narrative. Instead, there's peace in just noticing, observing without judgment. The creations of our mind are like ghostly reflections, not the solid truth of reality. And it's that realization that's the key. Now let's step back for a second and think about the past. You know, that place we like to revisit in our heads? It's really just a collection of memories, a mirage our minds keep bringing to life. The past, as we experience it, doesn't exist outside of our thoughts. It's a story we tell ourselves, a faint whisper that lingers in our minds long after the moment has passed. And then there's the future. Oh, the future. That mysterious realm full of possibilities, all shrouded in uncertainty. Our minds love to imagine what's coming next, playing out scenarios in vivid detail. But the truth is, these thoughts are nothing but fleeting ghosts, ideas that have no solid ground in reality. They're just the veils we pull over our eyes, clouding the present. Even the thoughts we're having right now, while we're talking about all this, aren't the truth. They're just fleeting shadows cast on the walls of our consciousness, echoes of what might be but aren't. To truly experience who we are at our core, we need to embrace one simple truth. The essence of who we are is found right here, right now, in this moment. We don't need to overthink or search for answers about our existence. We're already here. We can't be anywhere else but here. Our existence goes beyond the body and mind. It's rooted in awareness, in perception. And even those labels we slap on our experience, like consciousness or being, don't really capture the essence of who we are. They're just signs pointing us towards something much deeper, something indescribable. The search for truth doesn't require endless striving. It requires the opposite. It's about letting go. It's surrendering to what is, right here, right now. Because when we're in this space, there's no need to force anything. We don't have to see, feel, or think in any particular way. Being in its purest form requires no effort at all. It's our natural state of existence. We don't need to chase after it. We're already swimming in it. So, the truth isn't some distant destination we'll never reach. It's a journey deep into the heart of our own being. A journey that asks for nothing more than gentle observation. We don't need to chase after abstract ideas or fancy words. We only need to look inward and recognize the awareness that's always been there, waiting for us. To be is to be aware, and to be mindful is simply to recognize that awareness. So, let's just be. After all, we're already exactly what we're seeking. No need for mental gymnastics. Just open your mind, soak it in, and let the truth of who you really are resonate deep within you, because it's already there, waiting for you to notice. All right, let's dive a little deeper into the past for a moment. If we take a step back and really think about it, we might realize something pretty mind-blowing. The past doesn't really exist in the way we think it does. It's like an illusion, a shadow that only lives inside our minds. It's not out there in the world, standing tall with a name tag. Nope, it's just a figment of our consciousness. Now here's the kicker. We often point to things like photos or videos, right? We show them and say, look, this is proof of the past. But honestly, that's a bit of a mix-up. Those pictures, they're just snapshots of the present, frozen in time. When that photo of you as a kid was taken, it wasn't some relic from the past you're thinking about. It was captured in the here and now, in that exact moment. All those actions you're watching in that photo, they happened in the present. There's no way to do anything in the past. It's gone, a mere whisper. Now, let's take a trip down memory lane. Think back to something that happened a few years ago. Maybe a moment that was really intense or even traumatic. Those memories? Are they proof that the past is real, existing somewhere out there waiting for us to discover it? Honestly, no. It's not that the events didn't happen. They definitely did. But here's the thing. They didn't happen in some distant, separate past. They happened in the present, and now they're just part of your mind's record. It's like those memories are painted on the canvas of your consciousness, intertwined with who you are, right now. The past, in the way we understand it, isn't some standalone entity. It's a reflection, like looking into a mirror made up of your thoughts. And that brings us to the mystery of memory itself. If you really think about it, memories aren't these solid, tangible things. They're creations of our minds, imaginative little sculptures we build from the pieces of our lives. Whether something actually happened or not, the memory is born from our minds, a sort of mental artwork. It's a blueprint that may or may not match the reality we experienced. And that's the key. Memories, no matter how real they feel, don't live in the realm of the real world. They're not locked in place. They're just floating around in the imagination. Let's do something simple here. Think of a memory. It could be a small thing, like your breakfast yesterday, or something huge, like your first love, or a moment that changed your life. Now notice how your mind, without effort, starts weaving that memory into existence. It's like your thoughts are playing a movie in your head, rolling the film of that moment. But here's the thing. If you look around you right now, in this moment, do you see that memory in front of you? Nope. It's nowhere to be found. It's not here. It's only alive in your mind, created out of thin air. And that, right there, is the heart of what we're exploring. When we step away from all the mind's little creations, what's left? What remains is pure, undeniable, indescribable. It's beyond words, beyond labels. It's a dimension of experience that can't be captured by simple descriptions. It's the essence I've been pointing to in so many of my videos here on the channel. Something that can only be felt, not explained. Now let's take a look at the future. We all love to daydream about it, right? It's like this treasure chest of stories and wild scenarios that we create in our minds, full of possibilities. But the future, in the way we think of it, is a ghost. It's a specter, a shadow that doesn't really exist. It's only a projection from our minds. It's like a mirage, waiting to take shape, but never really showing up. The future is always just out of reach, a creation of what we think might happen, but never quite arriving. And yet, we keep chasing it. The mind loves to play with it, but in the end, it's just another illusion, like the past. You've probably heard the saying, "Tomorrow never comes," right? It's one of those old chestnuts that's been around forever. But really, think about it. Tomorrow is always this distant, unreachable horizon, always just a step ahead, and yet, somehow, always out of reach. It's like a game of cat and mouse. No matter how close we get, it keeps slipping away. So, have you ever actually experienced the future? I mean, really stepped into the world of tomorrow and felt its essence? Bet you haven't. Because here's the thing. The future, just like the past, isn't something you can actually touch or grasp. It's just another construct of the mind. We talk about it, dream about it, plan for it, but it never quite shows up the way we imagine it. The future is like this elusive shadow, always stretching farther as you try to catch it. But wait, there's more to this whole future past thing than meets the eye. When we dig deeper, we start to see there are two different realities at play here. One that's built by our mind, and one that's a state of pure being. And between those two, you'll find the key to choosing your own path. Will you stay stuck in the maze of your mind, or will you rise to a place of true enlightenment? Let's start with the mind-made reality. We could compare it to a kind of figurative hell. Here, suffering takes root and grows like weeds in the cracks of your thoughts. Fear, anxiety, and worry, they're the usual suspects, cast long, dark shadows. And in this world, a false version of yourself takes center stage, convinced you're nothing more than a single, insignificant person, a body and mind trapped in a life that feels like it's defined by everything outside of you. You feel like you're a puppet, yanked around by the strings of circumstances. It's a rough place to be. But hold up. There's another realm. Think of it like the opposite of hell. It's a place that feels like heaven, where consciousness is king. In this space, you realize you're not just an isolated individual. You're a thread woven into the fabric of the entire universe. You're a part of something bigger, something that goes beyond what your eyes can see. Here, it's not about things happening to you. No. Here, you understand that everything is just part of your own expansion. The external world, with all its noise and chaos, no longer controls your inner peace. Instead, love, joy, and boundless peace flood your being. In this state, your body becomes just a ripple in the vast ocean of consciousness. You start to realize you're not confined by your form. What you truly are doesn't have edges or limits. It's pure, formless, infinite. You are the ocean, not just the wave. So, yeah, the choice is yours. Do you want to stay tangled in the web of your mind, stuck in the chaos and confusion? Or are you ready to step into the calm, clear sky of awakened consciousness? The future is yours to shape, but first, you have to choose which reality you want to live in. As you keep moving along this journey, remember, you hold the key to your reality. You've got the power to rise above the limits of your mind and embrace the truth that you are limitless. Now, I'm not here to paint some picture-perfect, rose-colored view of life because let's face it, life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a patchwork of emotions. Anger, sadness, frustration. You get it. But here's the thing we want to transcend. Not the emotions themselves, but the suffering and the attachments that often come along with them. It's about realizing that life's events just unfold, like scenes in a movie, with no main character, to claim ownership. So, let's take a step back and understand this. To really step into our power, we first need to get the mind's game. The mind? It's a crazy thing. Brilliant, yes, but sneaky. It's like a storyteller that loves to spin tales, twisting reality into something that doesn't even resemble the truth. It whispers lies in your ear, keeps you trapped in narratives that don't serve you. But hey, no need to go down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out every little detail of this mind of ours. You don't need to keep repeating to yourself, "This isn't real, the mind is lying." Because guess what? The more you repeat it, the louder the mind gets, and suddenly, you're more tangled in its web than before. So, what's the trick? It's simpler than you think. Just observe. Observe the mind. Watch what it's up to, like you're an outsider, just curious. You'll start to notice that those thoughts aren't the foundation of reality. Nope. Reality, my friends, is right here, right now. You don't have to create it, chase it, or scramble for it. What you've been longing for? It's sitting in this very moment. It's not something you force or shape. It's a deep understanding that unfolds on its own, quietly, gently. But here's the rub. This understanding slips through the mind's fingers. It lives in the stillness, in the gaps where the mind is silent. The mind can't grasp it. No matter how hard it tries, this truth is beyond its reach. So on this journey, let your understanding flow like a calm river, not like wild, crashing waves. You don't need to get every little detail. Just let the mind be as it is. And when you do that, you'll uncover a profound wisdom, an understanding that emerges when the mind is still, empty. This truth, it can't be captured in words. It transcends concepts. But oh, it's there, in the quiet, space between the thoughts, waiting for you. And that's the path to real self-discovery and inner power. I hope this message resonates with you and helps you on your journey through life. Remember, in those quiet, still moments, you'll meet the deepest part of yourself. Thanks for being here with me on this journey. If this video spoke to you, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it with others who could benefit from it too. And don't forget to leave a comment below. Share your thoughts, your reflections, and your experiences with me. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you soon. Take care.